Hey everybody, I'm just going to show how I use Content Sprout. So first off, on the right hand side over here, it's pointing the correct direction. This is Content Sprout. On the left, we have the actual article. I just copied and pasted pieces. So the workflow is this. I want to delete the things that I don't need, and I just want to reorder things and get the best template for publishing this. So it should only take about 10 minutes, really, and then you're good. So what I'll show is right here in the top, all of this. Where does it end? Okay, ends right here. So everything here, that's stuff that I've gone through and I've figured out, all right, this is stuff that's just, it's unnecessary. It's going too off topic from what I actually need. So it is on topic, but I want it to be more narrow. So if you want it to be more narrow, it's up to you and your preference, but let's say you do. I go through, I read this, and basically just decide. So understanding water intake and hydration. I don't want to go over that. The topic is what happens when you drink too much water. And I'm using an example from Corey's course since he had a lot of information on this. It was good to see what a fully manual one looks like versus what mine looks like on its own. Because AI is not going to get you to the highest of the high manual setup. But how far can it get? And that's what I want to figure it out. So let's see. So in here, my introduction I will keep. But understanding this, the importance of water in the body, and then recommended daily, I move my head, recommended daily water intake, I don't need that. I don't need factors influencing daily water needs. This is all about what happens when you drink too much. This is a little bit off, right? It's tangential. So I'm going to delete it. Boom, boom, boom. Oh. There's definitely some good info in here too. So when I delete, I don't just delete. I'm putting it over here. So something to note. Because I think this is pretty important, this information about daily water intake. I might put that in later. But for now, I want to start it with, in this article, readers will learn about the importance of water intake and hydration for overall health, recommended daily water intake guidelines, risks and dangers of overhydration, including hyponatremia and water intoxication, and the potential long-term health risks associated with excessive water consumption. And additionally, readers will gain insights on how to monitor one's own fluid intake and prevent overhydration with special considerations given for athletes and active individuals. So, sounds good. Let's dive in. Obviously, you can adjust the context. You can adjust what you're targeting. So this seems fine to me. First off, I imagine when someone searches what happens when you drink too much water, probably one of the first things they want to know is recognizing overhydration. So having the AI spit that out, super nice. So we're going to keep that. And what we get is the definition. Overhydration, also known, super good to have that, as water intoxication, really nice, or, great, we've just covered the three main things, so perfect. And it's a condition, cool. When does it, the condition occurs when an individual consumes an excessive amount of water in a short period of time. Great definition. This rapid intake of water can cause the body's electrolyte balance to become disrupted, leading to potentially, so this is really nice. This is the main thing. Electrolyte balance becomes disrupted. That's the most important thing to talk about here. You still need to know your subject to be able to properly edit and modify. So I encourage everyone, no matter what you're doing, if you're using AI to write stuff, still study the subject. Leading to potentially severe health complications. Recognizing the signs of overhydration is essential to maintaining a proper fluid balance and preventing adverse health effects. Perfect. So now we go into like a full just definition. So can become dangerous, blah, blah, blah. Arguably, you could put this up here if you wanted to. So I don't have to do this. I could probably just say, this. I also could probably modify this in general, right? This little intro section here. So I don't have to keep it. I could probably merge this. So that's what I would do in this scenario, just showing you. This video will be a little bit longer than the actual process because I want to speak this out and show everybody. So this is really good information. It's a little bit, it repeats a little bit. So I would then say, either if it's me or my content writer, let's adjust this. So I'm not going to go through that on here. I'll show at the end what I've decided to use. Let me just copy and paste this though. So modify but don't delete. Oh, here it is. I already did this. Cool. So what I've decided to do here is overhydration. Boom. So removing this. And yeah, removing this and just doing this. So now it's overhydration, known as water intoxication or hyper blah. Condition occurs, excessive great. So this is when I combined it. I said rapid intake of water can cause the body's electrolyte balance to become disrupted, leading to potentially severe health complications. This imbalance of water can dilute the sodium levels, which is associated with this, with the electrolytes. And this leads to this condition. Great. When the sodium concentration in the blood falls below normal levels, when you see something that's vague, this is an opportunity. So if you're handing this off to a subject matter expert, this is what you need to look out for. Okay? Falls below normal levels. What's normal levels? Add that in. Why not? At least in parentheses. Why not? Is there an opportunity for a chart? Let's add a chart. Think like that. So this looks good. Cause of overhydration. Cool. So it's good to know the first step to recognizing cause. Perfect. So I want to do that. I'm organizing it by search intent. What I'm imagining intent to be. So great. I'm sure there might be some algorithmic thing where you might want to do something differently, but this makes sense to me. So this is how I'm doing it. Cause: drinking excessive, cool, endurance sports, medical, medications, excessive fluid. Let's see if there's any. Okay, so if it does talk about specifics such as syndrome of inappropriate antidiuretic hormone, make sure this is real. Like, it sounds real, right? But make sure it's real. That's all I got to say about this. So anytime it does that, great. That's the other thing the expert's doing. In these lists, just make sure, hey, is there any data? Is there any, is there a study? Anything like that. Try to always find something that you can point out. You need to be authoritative. In a world where everybody's going to be doing generative AI, make sure you're referencing sources. You don't even have to link to the sources. Just talk about them. Do anything. Please, if you're going to use Content Sprout or just use AI in general, please do that. I have no doubt that you'll make plenty of money just gaming the system with just AI right now. It's spamming, just like what I used to do with Black Hat tools, with spinning content. But it always comes crashing down. So build a system that lasts, and I'm telling you how. Let's keep going. Symptoms, perfect. That's the next thing. Here are the symptoms. This is the thing where, okay, maybe an expert would be like, hey, is this the best way of saying this? It might not be, right? So I would say when it's talking about symptoms, if I'm thinking about the user, once again, I don't want to scare them too much, and I got to think about the majority of people are doing the most common symptoms. So let's order it by severity, and maybe do a chart. Severity, common, whatever it is, body type. Like, this is the kind of thing that'll win. Think like this. You don't have to just get this content up, but that's what I would do. I'd try to find a chart or create one. Yeah, this is great. Aligning water intake with individual needs. Okay, that's fine. I'm a little hesitant on that one, but it's not terrible. So let's look at, so now at 3, I was talking, okay, that's when I start deleting. So the dangers of drinking too much water, okay, yes, we talked about that, referenced it, so now we're going to talk about the specific thing, the causes of that specifically, the symptoms of that specifically, and diagnose and treatment. So this is, once again, can the expert add a sentence? Just a sentence. That's it. Especially, you want to put more weight at the top, right, of what you're trying to focus on. It's just like anything in life. whatever you're putting in front of the person's eyes first, that's most important. So keep that in mind. If you're going to hire an expert, going to use editors and other writers, make sure you prioritize the top part. So, symptoms, diagnosis. Water intoxication. So, we don't have to delete this, right? But I don't know if I necessarily want this. So, I actually had that gone because it seemed to repeat a little bit for me, but maybe it doesn't. Nausea, vomiting, seizures, coma, death. Seizures, coma, death. Yeah, so I don't know if it's necessarily something I would focus on. It's up to you. I'll remove it just because I have it over here as a removal, but just referencing that for everybody. Okay, so now the role of kidneys. Okay, so kidney and heart issues. Great. I don't really want another one, so I'm just going to delete that. I could just do this. And then the effects, potential long-term health risk. Great. Preventing overhydration. So I don't know if you necessarily would want to do this, right? Think about it this way. If we want to be as focused in as possible, do we want to talk about preventing it, or are we trying to target something else? Because we can have a whole article talking about this, and maybe this article could even keep this. That's up for you to decide, right? So let's see here. If I just want it to be an athlete context over here, I would probably just delete this. So if I do, yeah, let's just delete. Might as well. Okay, gonna delete. Now, special considerations. So ensuring optimal hydration is crucial for athletes. Cool. Risk of it in sports and exercise. This is a good context. If I'm trying to talk, let's say it's like I'm selling sport drinks or sport hydration. If this was Gatorade and they were writing this article, this is the context that they would want. You have to choose one, but don't go all over the place. If I'm thinking, all right, this is perfectly fine. Monitor your fluid intake. Do that. That's cool. But if I don't want to just go with like Healthline specifically, I want to do something that's more directed just for a user group, do it. All right, so we have this. Special considerations, the risks. This looks all fine to me. Then we have guidelines for hydration. Yeah, looks good, looks good. Once again, anytime it's actual numbers, make sure your expert is taking a look. Use sports drinks in addition. Yep, great. Hot and humid environments, cold environments. Talk about the environments now. Hydration plans for specific environment activities. Yep, sure. You don't have to keep this because you might want to adjust this more to a sports context. It might be good enough on its own. Both internal and external factors can requirements for athletes and active individuals. Yes, that's fine. So what are the symptoms? This gives you FAQs. So at the end, I'm automatically adding FAQs. We had an option, but you check marking that doesn't do anything right now. And because there's been so much going on, we haven't removed the little check mark. But you'll get an FAQ. This is totally up to you. But here you go. What are symptoms of overhydration? How does it affect the electrolyte balance? Can it lead to this thing? Perfect. So add this wherever you want. You'll be good. So let's see here. Causes of overhydration. Recognize, reorganize, but don't delete. Okay. Let's see if causes of overhydration. I don't know if I need to do that. Expand this. Aligning water with individual needs. Okay, so with this one, I deleted it earlier. I don't know what to do with these, keep or delete, yeah. So I ended up deleting this one, or keeping this one. There is information that I'm missing, right? How much quantity is overhydration? So the authors of the study report that symptoms can develop if a person drinks how much. So we really want to make sure that we talk about how much water specifically becomes overhydration, and it varies per person, but something I noticed it didn't have. And that is it, guys. So now we have a 2,000 word article, I believe, that is pretty solid, and yeah, I think this is good. We can now check it for in links. Actually, let me let's do over here. All right. Get in. We'll do it. All we really want is content brief. Set brief. We'll do US. We'll do how to know when you drink too much water. Where you at, article? All right, let's grab it. Yep. Boom. Cool. So now it will load. I'm going to pause it here. All right, so the brief is ready, and we're just going to go in. I'm going to type this. Cool. We got our stuff, 2,000 words. It's definitely harder to get the 100% when you have lower words. So we'll see where we're at. To my knowledge, I won't edit this. If it's less than 90%, then it's less than 90%. But it's a good starting point. It'll help us. And we deleted a good chunk of stuff, so we could always add more. But great. So 100%, we have exactly what we need. And this is the whole goal, right? Like, it's pretty much optimized. So now, when you're just doing a ton of content with Content Sprout, if you have it all up there, then really you have one person who's going in, who's just modifying, reorganizing, that kind of thing. And then you have the one editor, or the expert. That's it. It doesn't take much time. I think a lot of people expect just to be able to write this. This will get you a long way, but I have the understanding, the way that I treat AI is here to replace 80% or cut what I have to do down to about 20% of the effort. So imagine everything you're doing, 20% effort remains instead of none. And I think you'll go far with AI. So if you're trying to increase things, yes, this is a perfect example. Look at this. So research studies. Great. Yeah, we need to talk about them, so we'll add them. Cell biology. Okay. I would imagine both cell biology and research studies, those two, are going to, let's find a research study about cell biology and its interaction with research studies. So maybe Google Scholar, and then cell biology and overhydration. Okay, there's one. Right there. So let's take a look. Yeah. You know what? I'll accept cookies. So all I'd have to do is reference this and say the authors are here. Perfect. If you want to do proper formatting where you're actually able to source this, citations are right here. You can also use GPT-4 or 3 or whatever to do this as well. So that's the kind of thing that I'm doing. I just go to Scholar. You can also go to JSTOR. If anyone, I think I spelled it wrong. JSTOR, if you can get an account here, there's a ton of content that's super, super helpful. So do that as well. And then probably Wikipedia is going to be a good guess as well. Overhydration. Water intoxication. Cool. Let's go to references. Boom. So any of these, Also a good example, So keep that in mind. Use these things. Make sure to talk about these people. Figure out what's the most important and least important. So that's it. I think we did it in 20 minutes, guys. Sorry it took so long, but now you see how I go through and I edit my articles. One last thing for those that decided to stay for the whole thing, let's see if I can show an example on this other sheet. Perfect. I think did I just delete it? No. Okay, so I think this was it. Yeah, this was it. Okay, so with the manual way, from what I can tell, I've covered everything. So the manual way with Corey. So it is what is too much. So that was me talking earlier about we need to make sure we have the actual numbers for what is too much. If that's missing, let's put that in there. But get specific. The expert might need to add that. What are the effects? Well, we definitely have the effects, right? We've talked about it right here. And we've removed some other things. We have the kidney issues. So that's actually common in athletes, so I chose kidneys. Then we have, are there dangerous side effects? Yes. That was something that Corey mentioned. What are the symptoms? Yes, we have that. How do scientists define water intoxication? So for how does a scientist do it? Well, once we just add in, what we can from a research paper, we're good. We already have generally that, but if we wanted the context of how the scientist specifically does it, we can. And then lastly, why is electrolyte loss related? So we have that as well. I think pretty solid. I don't think, let's see if I have this open. Yeah, so what happens when you drink too much? What is too much? What are the effects of too much? Are there dangerous effects of drinking excess water? What are the symptoms of it? How do scientists define it? Yeah, so we have basically all of that. So from what I can tell, and I know, like, I'm not going to put words in Corey's mouth because he will not say that tools should be trusted. It is manual. I get it. I do, but my personal take on this is if I can remove a lot of the effort, I'm good. And if I have methodologies like what Corey's talking about, and Corey's not the only one where you can get this from. You can study Slawski, and you can also just look at the patents, and you can figure it out. That's literally what Corey did. And keep that in mind. Don't limit your success that you could have with AI. Keep in mind that the rate that AI is moving, you'll need to continue to be at the bleeding edge with your strategy if you're going to make sure that this kind of generative AI approach to your SEO is going to be sustainable, effective, valuable. And you also want to be able to explain this to a client. You want to be able to differentiate yourself in the market. Shouldn't I just do this myself kind of thing? This is why. So keep that in mind. If you have questions, let me know. I've already gone an extra 4 minutes as I talked about. I forgot that I didn't actually compare Corey's stuff. So that'll be it. I didn't want to actually show his course or his video, so I just kind of read it out loud. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you trusting me with your money and taking the time to learn my tool. Have a good one.